Hey guys, welcome to Me, Myself, and I.
So I'm Naomi.
And I'm Niti.
So our channel is all about dating, sex, and psychology.
And you can find us on Spotify, TikTok, and Instagram.
So stay tuned. How do you feel about stay-at-home dads and like the woman being the one who's like outside the house more and like working? Because a lot of men, because women are making more now, a lot of guys are like, okay, well, I want to be a stay-at-home dad then. Like, I don't want to work. Period.
That is a turn off to me. I am so sorry.
Okay, I think so. Like, what do you mean you're a stay-at-home dad not doing anything?
Like, okay, I think maybe because we're ambitious people.
Because to me, like, I understand him working less, but like nothing at all. I'm just like, what is that?
But I don't even think that's like because of the money. I think it's like even if it wasn't, it's the ambition.
But their thing is like, why not? Like, you're making everything. You're making all the money. Like, I've talked to so many guys about this.
Ew.
And they're like, yo, like, it'd be cool, but I feel like a lot of women would not.
It's just not a turn on. I don't know what it is. I
Because
think
ambition is a turn on, and that's the opposite. Well,
unless ambition is not your turn on.
unless you have something going on at home, like you have an online business or like something you're doing, stocks even, like something. But if you're doing nothing, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes into like it is hard to find a guy up to your standards these days, realizing that you have nothing that you need from them.
But I think some women will be okay with having a stay-at-home dad because some women, like, they really into their career and it's like, I want to spend as much time as possible with my career. So I think some women would be okay with the stay-at-home dad. But like, personally, for like, I mean, you and me, like, I know this, like, we are attracted to ambition, so like we'd want someone who's also working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, did men find it attractive when women were staying home and not doing anything?
I think they do.
Really?
Yes.
But do you think
it's
they
like
still do?
wifey, like they come home to like a cooked meal and like, the house is clean.
But what about
like,
the financial stress that's put on them?
But
they
I
get
think
sick one day.
But I think they're like, they can come home and like their wife can take care of them if they're sick. Like, it's just, again, it's the whole mothering thing. They like being taken care of.
But do you think men in this day and age, okay, like maybe our parents' generation, yes, but this day and age, do you think men find it attractive if you were to say to them, I want to be a stay-at-home wife?
I think if you say that to them, they don't. A lot of men don't find that attractive.
Okay, that's
I
what
think
I'm
they
thinking.
think like you have no ambition. Like the same way how we feel.
So it does go both ways.
I think it does go both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, because I could see a guy being turned off by that. It's almost like you want to be a
You want me
leech
to
off
do everything
me.
for you? You want to be like
You're leeching off me.
Okay,
literally.
so you're a leech.
Yeah, I know this one guy, and he was like, his views. Honestly, we should have him as a guest on this fucking show. His views are very like, I'm the man, and I am going to be the earner, and I want 5 kids, and my wife needs to stay home. She needs to stay home for the sake of the kids because the kids need their mother at home.
Good thing there are billions of people in this world because I know a lot of women like that's their dream. Like a lot of women like their dream is to be a stay-at-home mom.
I said to him, I said,
be
you will
cute.
find
Yeah,
someone. Honestly, you will.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I was also like, what makes you think you're going to be earning enough to support
Also
this
that.
5 children and this stay-at-home wife? Like, let's talk about freaking inflation.
Thank you. Like you're gonna do that here?
And honestly, okay, I don't want to go into like political talk or like be boring, but like to get a house these days, like, do you really think people can get a mortgage with one income?
I don't think a single income
Down payment itself, with your own income, there's no freaking way.
Well,
married people can't even get one.
Not in the city. I think if you're gonna do that type of lifestyle, then you're really living the suburban dream. Like, you gotta move to the suburbs and like
Even the
get cheaper
suburbs are
housing because you
expensive.
can't do that here.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But you need to be fucking far out. Like, you can't
Go to
even
fucking
be...
Belleville, man. Like,
Literally, Belleville's where you're moving. Like I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. This guy, I was just like, okay, if that's what you want. I guess for him, he's like a wife should be taking care of the kids. And I'm not saying that, like, I do think that parents need to be home taking care of kids at some point. Like, it's not good to have... I grew up with, like, 2 extremely ambitious parents where I had nannies. So for me, that's, like, not something that I would look to do.
Yeah.
But I think there's a balance. Like, I wouldn't also be like, oh, you have to stay home and do nothing because you have to see... it's for the kids' sake.
Yeah. I think both people should be able to do what they want and still make the time to stay at home and with the kids and, like... Yeah, that's something they're gonna have to decide for themselves. Okay, so do you feel like relationship dynamics are changing now that women are earning more?
Oh, 100%. They are so changing because look at the glass ceiling. Like, the glass ceiling effect is like, basically there's like this glass ceiling where women can't grow any higher than this in their career, and it's almost just like, it's basically saying that women can only go to a certain extent, and I think that the glass ceiling is like disappearing.
It is disappearing.
Or like at least we're not there yet. It's not fully like men and women are equal right now with like their income.
Yeah.
But I do think that women are becoming a lot more independent.
Financially, like also more vocal, like online and in real life too.
But how does this affect dating or relationships specifically?
Relationships, I feel like it's making men sometimes feel inadequate. Like maybe just I don't know, not as important anymore because the woman is already bringing so much to the table for herself, and she can already do so much independently. Where it's like, yeah, she's doing stuff that the man would have done for her. So I think now it's like, okay, what
does the man have to offer?
What am I doing? Yeah.
Because traditionally men are like breadwinners.
The providers, yeah.
And I think it's almost like that damsel in distress, like we go back, like, I don't know, 50 years, like a woman needs a man. You need a man. You depend on a man. And now that you don't depend on a man, it's almost like, what does the man have to offer?
I think it causes more arguments. Because I feel like back in the day when women weren't earning as much, like the man had the final say for everything. It was like, well, I'm paying for it, so like, this is what we're doing. Yeah. Like if you're talking, like for example, if they're picking a city to move to, the man's making that choice because it's like I'm making the most money, like I'm gonna choose where we're living. But now that women are earning more, like we can equally fight back and be like, no, well I make this much, so like, my opinion it matters just as much as yours for this. And I feel like that it's definitely changed things, even just like roles around the house. Yeah, like sometimes guys are working from home now, or vice versa, or maybe the woman might be traveling for work, or the man might be traveling for work, and it's like that changes what each person does at home. And I think,
but I don't think it is changing because I think sometimes I feel like men are still expecting women to do like the housework. Meanwhile, the men are earning
the same
equal. So then it's like,
but
why?
How can you expect that?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it should be like that. I think then if your girl is earning equal to you or your husband is, like everything should be equal then.
Yeah.
You can't have this traditional like thing like, well, you still cook. How is this fair?
Yeah, because it's not the same arrangement as before.
And that takes me to like why, honestly though, as a woman in this day and age, why would we put up with that?
We shouldn't, and I feel like we're not. You're seeing more. I'm seeing more women leave men now. Like even just with my friends, because they're like, I don't need to put up with this.
You have no reason to if you're not dependent, is what I think.
Yeah.
Like, why, for example, if a man's saying, you know, cook, clean, and do this, and putting pressures on you, like, this is one example, why would you stay with him? Like, what is he bringing? What is he bringing to
nothing.
you?
There's bringing nothing to the table that you're not already. But this goes to the question of, like, if a woman is earning more than a man, like, and let's say the man expresses, like, he feels a bit, I don't know, like, he doesn't feel as important, like, how do you think that affects the relationship? Like, do you think you can work to make both people feel important again, or like?
Well, definitely for sure. I do think male egos are getting hurt. Like that's like I really like not even in question. Don't come at me. But definitely because like I feel like if you're not feeling as important to the person, like you're supposed to be the breadwinner, now you're not. And this person doesn't need you. Like your ego's gonna get hurt. And honestly, I do as bad as it is to say, I do think you have to protect their ego a little bit.
I think you do
just
too.
To keep the relationship.
Y'all are a little sensitive, admit it. But like
we have to protect. I think like, you know, even if you don't believe it, like make him feel like you still need him. Like whether it's for physical labor, which I'm not saying you do need it. You don't need a man for that either. But I'm saying just make them feel, I think, a little bit important.
Okay, and I know we talked about this before with like the whole paying on dates and stuff. But if you two are making the same amount, like, is the man gonna be like, okay, like, well, I think you should pay for this now. I think you should pay for this now. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think it should be equal. I think if you're making the same amount, like, for example, household expenses, like, in a relationship, like, it should be equal then. Like, why should it not?
Yeah.
But I also think that look at the downside of that. Like, I think back in the day, men, like, for example, like, I can think of so many people, like, friends of my parents' generation, and, like, I fully have heard women say, I can't leave him. I would have no money. And to me, like, just to hear someone say that, like, wow. Because we can't relate.
We can't relate,
I think we're independent at this age.
Yeah.
Like, I can't relate. Like, I'm like, that is sad. Because it's almost like you're stuck.
No, women were stuck before, and now we're not stuck. And I think some men kind of miss that. They miss having that power over their woman.
And you can men get away with less now. Like, we will, like, you can easily leave. Like, honestly, to be honest, I have no reason to stay in something that's unhealthy. I'm not being treated right. You know, I'm being told to do things that I shouldn't be doing, or, like, this traditional mindset. I have no reason to, because we're smart, educated, young. You know, we're not 40 years old trying to find a compromise partner.
Yeah.
Like, we have no reason.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, like, I feel like that's unfortunate for men.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for them.
But I think inclusion dynamics are changing. I think basically women have less reasons to compromise, and I think men aren't liking this because they're being more picky. And I feel like they can be more picky because you don't need any. A man should be an addition to your life, and that's how I think about it. I have no need for this man.
Yeah.
And I sometimes
complement your life.
Yeah, and I honestly think, like, just listening to people who are like, I can't leave my husband. Because I can't financially, like, I'm literally like, I would never want to be in that space when I'm 30 years from now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would never want to feel like that.
I will never ever feel like that.
I'm happy for the girls of this generation, but
Me too. Girl power. The men are gonna come for us once again.
But I don't really care.
We're speaking facts.